everyone. So it's been a while since I've shared some stuff, and seeing as it's absolutely fucking pissing down outside, I figured why not. For those that don't know, about just over 6 months ago, I shared a video about quitting weed, what I went through and stuff like that, and it was pretty intense, so to speak. But the truth is, I was actually sitting with stuff for a lot longer than 2 months or whatever it was that I made the video, and then I decided to keep that ball rolling. And the next thing, which may come to a surprise to a lot of people, was letting go of tobacco. Holy shit, like I've done that since I was a kid as well. Had a few breaks here and there, but nothing really substantial. Nothing ever longer than a year. Well, I did a year once, and then the rest of the time it was just like, a month, a few days, all that sort of stuff. But I decided to let it go, and so now I'm going to share what that was like. Like I did a cold turkey, which was, not going to lie, it's fucking rough after such a long period of being a smoker. But this time was a bit different because I had no substitute. Usually I would substitute pot with tobacco with pot, and vice versa every time I had a little break, but I didn't have that this time. It was just, I fucking had to sit with all my own shit. So so the process of that was intense, and there's a lot of it that isn't really talked too much about. Like people always explain the benefits and all that sort of stuff, which there are definitely some benefits, which I feel are really, like my breathing is one thing. Like I've always been able to breathe through training and yoga and stuff like that, but just the depth of my breath, even after just 2 months, I think it is now, is just so much better. But the stuff that's very rarely spoken about, which I'll explain now, the process of it all that I went through, it's just pretty wild. Like the first couple of weeks, I was maybe having like half a one every couple of days or whatever, just sort of still getting that nicotine hit and stuff like that. So I was feeling really good. I was like, fuck yeah, I got this easily, and that's what my mindset was like. Oh, after a couple of weeks, it'll be completely out of my system. I'll be fine, no dramas whatsoever. But I fucking got that wrong. After the first couple of weeks where I was cutting down, just having little bits here and there, I was like, fuck, I gotta go cold turkey. Then firstly, I ended up fucking sick as fuck. Like, had like this chronic headache. Was almost gonna call it corona, but just kept persevering with it all. And like I had like flu-like symptoms. I was really lethargic, had no energy whatsoever. My head was throbbing, like my nose was, all my sinuses and that were blocked. I had absolutely nothing, so I couldn't do anything. I just basically laid down for a week straight, copped it on the chin, and then once that sort of started to work itself out, and I was starting to come back to a bit more health, I started finding myself just fucking smashing the food, which was fine. I anticipated a bit of weight gain and sort of stuff like that with quitting smoking. It's a pretty common thing that they speak about and stuff like that comes with it, as well as the sickness, like they call it smoker's flu or whatever. But I think I put on like fucking 7-8 kilos in about 6 or 7 weeks. Like I'm slowly getting back into training now, but it was wild. There wasn't a time in the day that I wasn't fucking putting food into my mouth and anything like that. And it was I got no issues with it because I fucking love food, but it's pretty wild to see how much the appetite goes up and all that sort of stuff. And so, having anticipated that, I was like, yeah, that's alright, I can let this happen, no dramas whatsoever and stuff like that. But for the stuff that they don't really tell you about, for me that was like a somewhat of a depression. I don't really like to use words like that too often and stuff like that, but I was feeling like even more so than pot. Like pot was a little bit different. Feeling like I was a little bit directionless, and stuff like that, and having sober eyes for the first time in a long time, I was like, oh shit, this is a bit weird, you know. But tobacco is like a whole different ball game altogether. Like, I didn't want to speak to anyone. I didn't want to do anything. Like, my energy was just fluctuating up and down. Like, some days I feel like I was on top of the world and had heaps of energy, like to the point where I'd struggle to sleep. But then other days I fucking had nothing in the tank whatsoever. Like, I tried to get up and do shit, and then next thing I'm just fucking laying on the lounge going to bed, and I was absolutely wrecked, and I hadn't done anything. So it was really, that shit was really weird to me. But yeah, like the depression side of it, like it came out of nowhere. It was like 3 or 4 weeks into it that it had popped up, and you know, I kept trying to go to training, trying to fit work back in and all that sort of stuff. Like, and it just sent me to the point where it broke me, and I had to just take a step back and be like, okay, well, now I'm just gonna sit with this and feel into it and see what the fuck is going on here, because it was super strange to feel like that. And but yeah, so what I realised it was, you know, that's like my body's detox process. Like, all this shit's coming out after such a long period that, you know, my body was constantly under stress from it all and stuff like that, and it was fucking crazy. But, you know, to see how something that is so easily overlooked, like with smoking, like it's easy, you pick one up, fucking smoke, go about your day, there's nothing to it. And for those that have never smoked, you wouldn't understand, and you can have your bias and your judgments, but no one really gives a shit. Because for those that have, and it's easy to get into, like, you know, whether it's a cool thing when you're growing up, or, you know, it's something that's promoted and it's legal to buy, so it's like something to take away stresses in a sense. But you know, to see how something that can be so easily overlooked can affect you physically, mentally, and emotionally, that was fucking crazy. Like, you know, like, especially like the emotional state of things. Like, not like you, like for me personally, I didn't just break down and cry or anything like that, but it was like the same angry person that I was 10 years ago, just back on the surface going, fucking finally I'm out. I was like, oh shit, better fucking do some work on that one there. So I started, you know, feeling into that and feeling what that was, and then just, you know, recognition that was part of the process that my body had to go through to, as it was, you know, releasing all these toxins and stuff like that again. But yeah, it's crazy that this isn't more looked into, because a lot of people that I know that have quit have gone through a similar thing, or they substitute it with something else so they can bypass that, which to me just didn't cut it anymore. Like, it's the first time in my life that I've been completely sober. Like, drinking, that's fucking nothing. I quit that shit years ago. Now I can choose to have a beer if I ever want to. Not that I was ever addicted to it or anything, but definitely love the party. But yeah, the two forms of smoking, like pot and tobacco, they are heavily ingrained in me. So you know, feeling my way through that process and to quit them both cold turkey within a 6-month span, it made me feel every single part of it, like the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. And now, like, it's just now that I'm starting to feel like I'm, you know, the cloud's starting to go and all that sort of stuff. And there's definitely been a lot of testing moments, but in all of that, one thing that I realised is that no matter what I felt or what I've been going through with it all, is that I'm actually a lot less stressed out without them than what I am with them, which is weird, because, like, you know, I always justified it as, oh no, it's a stress relief while I'm working, or it's just you know, part of like taking myself out of the space for a moment. But what I'm quickly realizing is that I was way more stressed out as a smoker than as a non-smoker, which is absolutely still a little bit bewildering to me because yeah, I don't know, that relaxation that you get when it's like, whereas really that's like, it's just a deep breath. That's all it is. Like, and yeah, it's really weird to watch that process happen and to see yourself change as the weeks go on. Because like, you know, that's one thing I'll say. Tobacco was definitely harder for me than pot, which both had their different things. Like, you know, and like they're different things on different levels. Like there was some similarities, like the directionless and the sort of feeling lost thing. That was similar for both, except the levels were just a bit different. Like tobacco was a little bit stronger with it all because, you know, it's something that you do to cover up boredom, like I said, the stress situation, all that sort of stuff. And it's really weird, but to sit with it now and see where I am now, mentally anyway, like physically I've got some fucking work to do. I'm a little bit heavier than usual, but you know, I can cop that. But yeah, mentally to see where I am after coming out of that brain fog, fuck, that is a game changer. And you know, now I've always got a reference point to sort of work back to. Like, you know, I could have, you know, got the patches, Champix, all that sort of stuff, but I thought, if I'm actually going to do it, I need to feel everything, so then I've got something that I can look back to if I ever feel the need to have one again. And so that's what's happened now. Like, because I still have plenty of times during the day where I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to have one. And then I'm like, whoa, what if you get back to that stage where you're smoking fucking 20 a day and then have to go through this whole process again of the detoxing and the sickness, the depression, and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, and you know, it's easy then for me to go, fuck that, I'm out, no chance will I put that in my body. So yeah, so it's really insane to see, but I just feel like sharing that, because I know a lot of people that smoke but don't want to anymore, but are a little bit iffy on the process of letting it go, or can't get past that first couple of days. And you know, you definitely can. It's a matter of knowing that shit has to change. That was the biggest thing for me, is just that sense of knowing, like, fuck it, that's enough. I'm not doing this shit anymore. You know, and you can fill your time with whatever you want, as long as it's helpful to you. Like for me, like replacing habits, like I didn't want to just continually distract myself with a bunch of other things to take my mind away from it. I wanted to sit with the process and understand it, so I could see the way that my body was reacting and responding to certain things, instead of just take my mind away from it completely, because I wouldn't have understood the way that my body was working in that sense. Like I would have just been finding other ways to hide from the feelings and all that sort of stuff. So you know, I think healthy distractions are good, like chucking in a bit of fitness. You know, art's another really good thing. Even just fucking putting on music and laying there and chilling out, listening to different sounds and all that sort of stuff. I found that stuff's really helpful as well. But yeah, for everyone that's out there that does want to make a change, like I can tell you right now that, you know, I smoked from 12 to 30, oh fuck, I'm 33, yeah, 12 to 33. And at the end of it, I was smoking over a packet of 20s a day. So yeah, you know, your body might be completely dependent on it, but it's fucking 100% possible. You can definitely do it, and keep pushing towards you, and yeah, enjoy.